a Cracksman this year on his reappearance run was the Cracksman I think we were expecting, and then of course Epsom was a slightly different Cracksman, and now we know why. How soon after the race did you think something's not quite right there?
Well, I could see in the first 2 furlongs, or the first furlong alone, something wasn't right. Yeah, Frankie mentioned he hit his head hard on the stalls when he came back, but I hate making excuses at the time. I mean, the second horse ran a blinder, was superbly ridden, and it was a courageous horse, and it took all of our efforts to get there, to pin him back and nail him on the line. I thought it was a great ride from both jockeys. Yeah, he wasn't himself. You know, whatever you say about the track being downhill, it's not downhill for the first 5 furlongs, and he wasn't travelling up the hills. That was what worried me. We'll see. You know, he's breezed this morning. Frankie's been on him. He's happy with him. So at this moment, it's kick on for the Prince of Wales, and then hopefully freshen up and come back for a King George would be the game plan.
At what trip do you think this horse is at his very best, John?
I think 1.25 miles, 2.5 miles. He ran top of the ground in Ireland for the Irish Derby. It was fast side when he won the Gannet this year, and he handled that very well. I think he's like most horses, he's probably happiest on good ground.
And if you go back to the early part of his 3-year-old season, for example, what were the greatest challenges posed to you as a trainer? Because this horse with this latent talent, who now we know is such an incredible animal, but was there a sense that he was always going to be more ready as a developed 3-year-old as a 4-year-old?
Well, he just came strong, you know, late summer into the autumn. I think sort of York, August, Great Voltage or onwards, he was suddenly become a real horse. Until then, he was, in fairness to him, it was all happening a little bit fast, derbies and Irish derbies, and he missed the Dante. He was favourite, he would have won, but I didn't fancy it so close to the Derby in case he got a hard race with the rain there. I didn't think he'd be able to handle them back to backs, which is why he didn't run in the Dante. I pulled him out day of race, actually. And look, he ran a super race in the Derby, he was staying on. I would have to say that Epsom is not his favourite track, but there we go. We managed to pull one out of the fire. And
he's obviously hugely important for Anthony Oppenheimer. Frankie clearly gets on incredibly well with him, and I mean the relationship that you've all had between you over the last really 3 or 4 years, and predating that, he's an emblem of just what you've achieved together in recent years.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Anthony's been breeding with his stud, Hascom Valiant stud, for years. Breeding's a very tough game. It's very difficult to get things to go right, and to come up with 2 brilliant horses within 3 years of each other is pretty unique. It's a great achievement, accomplishment for the stud and for Mr. Oppenheimer. And look, it's lovely for us to be part of it. We're the lucky ones. But breeding horses, let me tell you, I try it with my wife. There's many banana skins in all directions.
Lastly on him, I mean, is he a quicker horse now than he's ever been in some way?
Yeah, I think so. I think he is. I will always feel that he's a type of horse who does best later in the year. He's just some of them are like that, get bigger and stronger. So I'd be looking forward to a time like the Arc with him.
And that's the sort of the end of season plan, realistically?
It's always been the plan, yeah. And you know, and it remains very much that. It would be, hopefully, if we run here and run a big race, fine. If you win, you win. If you don't, you don't. But still the plan would be the King George and then freshen for the Arc.